to answer your question earlier, Ben, which never came up in this book really, because the sun wasn't actually totally destroyed.
No, it wasn't.
And its mass was just replaced by the Sun Eater while it was there. Yeah, if you removed all the mass from the sun and it was gone, then the planets would spin off into whatever direction they were heading in when the sun disappeared. They would just keep going in that direction.
All right.
However, in reality, that could never really happen because mass can't just be like,
because nothing can take the sun away.
Yeah. And if it did, it would be as massive as the sun.
So it would displace everything that was there anyway.
Well, yeah, it would totally. If
it would
an
pull
object
us in.
that had eaten multiple suns came into the Earth,
right, it would actually amplify its size.
Area, it would just pull all the planets into totally different orbits as it was moving through. It would just fuck up everything, and we'd all die.
You mean to say that it wouldn't just like move some rocks in the Saturn rings?
No, it would move everything. It would screw up everything. Just like the sun holds all the planets in place. Something
so
bigger
too
than the
would a
sun
larger sun
would pull the planets around it. So
we wouldn't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
The sun being destroyed or eaten
we'd be
wouldn't
dead
be the
long
last
before-
of our worries.
Exactly.
As we were hurtling through space and freezing to death anyway,
Yeah.
we'd be... Actually, it'd also throw off our retention, so I guess we'd be thrown off the surface of the Earth.
Yeah, or we might be sucked into the
Sun Eater.
The Sun Eater. I mean, all kinds of crazy things can happen.
But none of the things that happen in this book would occur.
Yeah, although, now, to be fair, the Sun Eater is
It's
in another
interdimensional.
dimension, so maybe most of its mass is in this other dimension.
That's true, and yeah, maybe
So-
it's traveling through the dimension, so
Yeah.
it comes out already at the sun, or,
Right.
or within it.
Right.
But then there's still mass. Like part of it.
So
is
let's
still
okay.
here.
So what if it teleported inside the sun and then started pulling it like through the portal into another dimension?
So that the mass of the sun never increased.
Change it, yeah, never increases,
Right,
but
the
it only
total
decreases.
mass of the system is always the same.
Yes.
So the Sun Eater is like a portal to another dimension.
Precisely.
The portal
Or a
put
black
itself
hole.
inside the sun.
Yeah.
And then as it consumed the sun's energy, it put out its own energy in exact proportion to the energy that was being removed.
Yes, in another dimension though, so that you wouldn't like replace it with another
Well, but if it was taking the sun's mass away, which
yeah,
is,
but into another dimension.
right.
So
So
it would
then
have
the sun would be getting
it would
smaller
have
and
a
smaller.
decrease.
Yeah, so the sun would get
And then-
smaller, the Sun Eater would get bigger, but over there, so it wouldn't affect our universe.
But if the sun was getting smaller, then that would screw us up.
Well, 'cause
we
so what would
still
happen
have to
there?
add the mass back.
Right, so I'm
as
saying,
it was taking it away from the sun.
so what would happen there though?
We would still we would start
We would
getting
spin
a
out of-
larger
Yeah.
orbit,
Yeah, basically.
Around the
losing
sun.
the gravity. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then until eventually there was nothing, I guess, and we would break free,
And just
Yeah.
and we would just go in a straight line.
Yeah, you would just go in whatever direction the Earth, it's going around, and then this goes away, and it just
it would just keep going.
keeps going that way.
Like a slingshot.
Yeah. Yeah, very much like that. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Gravity's like a invisible tether.
Yes.
Like you're spinning the thing around on a string. If you cut the string, that's like if you
keep
remove
going.
the mass at the center of a system. Of course, in real life, it couldn't happen. Even if the sun became a black hole, black hole still has mass. Like the mass is still there.
It's just not emitting light anymore.
So it's
Yeah.
still
It would nothing would change.
that circumstance that we described wouldn't even occur.
Yeah, well, as far as we know, there's no way for like the mass of a thing to be in another dimension. Although
Yeah, no problem.
that is a like cornerstone of certain like theories about like the nature of the universe. So,
Right.
You know.
Question for another time.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, just to point this out.
Sure.
If the Sun Eater is an object, right? So like, let's say that it comes into the solar system and it eats the sun, and it's the same mass as the sun.
Yes.
So it's just replaced the sun, but it's dark.
Right.
Right. And then like, so everything's still orbiting it.
Yeah.
Because it's the same mass, and then it starts to like move away.
Would our orbit? Would we just go with
we
it?
would just go with it because the sun is moving
So we
through
would-
space
but we
really
wouldn't even
fast
notice.
already. Yeah.
Like,
we
we
wouldn't
wouldn't
even be
even-
dark, but yeah.
Yeah.
But the planets would still be where they were.
Yeah, and
That's
we
really
would still
funny.
be.
Depending on how fast it moved, like relative to the sun's current velocity. So if like the sun's moving this way at a certain speed, and the Sun Eater comes in, and it goes off this way.
But the sun's going to go in another. The Sun Eater will go in whatever direction it wants because it's sentient.
because it's sentient, I guess.
I get probably.
Yeah,
Or
so-
even if it isn't sentient, it is alive.
Right. So
So-
then if it tried to move in a different direction than the sun was going, that would probably
Throw off our orbit.
Yeah, because our planets would keep moving in that direction from like the momentum.
And the strength of the Sun Eater's orbit would be lesser than
Well,
the
because it's
strength of
moving
our
away
velocity.
from us at the same time it's pulling us, but it's moving opposite direction as some of the planets. So I guess
Gotcha.
depending on where the planets are, some would stay with it and some would go away, and how fast it moves away. Of
Right,
course.
right.
It would be a very complicated mathematical problem. to
would
solve.
the Sun Eater emit some measure of solar radiation?
I don't know. It depends on how it works.
I guess that's true. That's a made up thing.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't really know.
Also, eventually the energy would deplete because just like
Well, it's absorbing its own
Well,
energy to keep itself alive.
What does it even mean that it's absorbing the energy? Like the sun continuously produces energy from fusion, so like from hydrogen atoms literally fusing inside of it. So like,
Right.
what is it that the sun?
I guess
eater
it's just
is
eating
doing?
the reaction.
Is it eating?
It's eating the byproduct of the fusion reaction.
But
So
the,
it's like
but if
eating
the
its fire.
hydrogen's still there, then as it moves away, the sun would still be producing energy. Like it
Well,
wouldn't do anything.
I'm wondering if it sort of like smothers it. It takes up so much energy that it can't keep itself lit.
Yeah, but the sun like is lit by virtue of the fact that it is so big that
That
fusion
the atoms
happens.
are just crushing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
so
okay.
like you'd have to remove enough mass from the sun that like it couldn't cause fusion within itself.
Yeah.
So I guess if it swallowed much of the hydrogen in the sun,
Mm-hmm.
it could take enough of it that it can't sustain fusion anymore.
Okay.
So maybe that's
So that's
That's
how
what
the sun eater
happens.
would have to work.
yeah.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
actually it's not consuming the energy; it's literally eating the hydrogen
Yes.
that's in the sun.
So it's really more of a hydrogen eater.
Yeah, or just
What-
a matter eater.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
just eats.
You know, like everything.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens to go into suns because they're the biggest things around. They have the most stuff in them.
Yeah, and people call them the sun eater because they happen to notice a trend.
Yeah. I mean, it could be drawn to the sun because it's drawn to the heaviest, most massive object around.
In relation
And
to the
The
galaxy.
planets
Well-
are like minuscule in mass compared
Yeah.
to the sun, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't even bother.
Right. Which is why I don't find the parallel between Galactus and the Sun Eater to be fair, because the Galactus eats planets.
Yeah, but it's still destroying civilizations.
Yes.
It's just using a slightly different mechanism.
And
true.
it eats
Eating
massive
stuff.
planets too. It's not
Yeah.
just doesn't eat just small ones.
No.